Hey, so it is Wednesday. It is the 13th. It is about 1:30, and I just got home. I got home early because my fiance is going on a work trip. He already left. He texted me maybe 15 minutes ago to let me know he had just made it through security. And so I'm going to be alone until like midnight on Friday. I think that's when his flight comes in, which means he won't get here until like 1 or 2 in the morning. But yeah, so I left early today and I took off tomorrow. And initially I was going to do like a little at-home writing retreat, and obviously I do plan on writing tomorrow, but I didn't want to call it a writing retreat because I'm probably not going to focus solely on writing like I would like if I called it a writing retreat. But yeah, I'm just having a nice little staycation. There's gonna be reading, writing at Dragon Age, so yeah, I just wanted to kind of film a little update, I guess. I think I wrote 2 chapters today. I think I finished chapter 17 and then wrote 18 and 19, and I am 2 chapters into the Dark Moment beat, which I'm feeling surprisingly good about because I was really worried about this beat, but it's not as bad as I remembered. I still am not super confident in my like action writing skills, but it's not as bad as I was thinking it was, and like it's not an action story, it's a romance story, and I genuinely think the romance is there. I think it's good. And you know, if my dark moment is a little weak compared to the romance, that's fine. I don't care. Especially because now that I don't really have intentions of rushing to get this published, I can just kind of shop it around to friends and see what they think. I don't know. But yeah, so I was going to, excuse me, I keep looking up at the viewfinder because I have a new camera. I was going to get home and write, but I don't think I want to do that because I did so much writing today. I think instead, I'm going to eat some lunch because I only ate snacks at work today since I was leaving early. And then I think I'm going to play some Dragon Age. I'm on my 2nd playthrough. I have a lot of problems with the game, but I don't know how much of it is like on me, because you spend 10 years waiting for a game, you're kind of bound to build up in your head what you want the next game to be, and you know, it's not going to hit all of those marks, and it definitely didn't hit all the marks for me, but I am enjoying it. But yeah, so I think I'm going to eat and play some Dragon Age, and then later I can do some writing, because one thing I'm excited about is doing evening writing, because I haven't written in the evening for so long. I can't even remember the last time, because obviously in the evenings, me and my partner are home, we are eating dinner, we're catching up on TV shows, so I don't write in the evenings. But I'm excited to get to write later this evening. Just wanted to film, like I said, a quick update and talk about my plans. Tomorrow I was debating between whether or not I wanted to go to Dunkin' Donuts when I wake up, but it's probably gonna be like 30-something degrees, so I don't think I'm going to. But yeah, I'm gonna eat, play Dragon Age, and then do some writing later on. And I found this note near my toothbrush, which is so sweet. I'm always accused of being the sappy one in this relationship, but I think it's both of us, honestly. Kitty! Hi, baby. Came over to my gaming computer and found another one. Okay, so it is a little later than I intended, and I'm sorry, I keep looking at the viewfinder. I'm filming on an actual camera and not my phone, and so it's a little bit of a disconnect, but yeah. Anyway, it is 5:10 currently. I had originally only intended to play Dragon Age until like 4-ish, but then it was kind of like I just wanted to get through the part that I was at. Not that it's a slog, but if you're seeing people say that like the writing in the beginning isn't the best, that's kind of true, and I think it's because they tried way too hard to appeal to like new people and people that have never played a Dragon Age game before. So it was like I was kind of just trying to get through all the like exposition basically. But I do have a cup of coffee. I will probably only have one. I have been up since 3 this morning, so I don't intend on like pulling an all-nighter or going too crazy. I think I want to at least write one more chapter. So it would be cool if I could write chapter 20 tonight, and then I will be halfway through the Dark Moment beat. I don't know 100% how long that chapter is, however. I think as a whole, I have around 6,000 words in this, like in my zero draft left. Like obviously I'm trying to make it better and flesh it out, so I'm adding words as I go. So it's not going to be 6,000 words and then I'm done, but it does give me at least a little bit of like an idea of how much longer it's going to take me. Maybe within the next 8,000 words. Hopefully I'm finished because I have crossed over into the 30,000 word limit that I gave myself originally. So now we're just going to try to stay under the 40,000 word like hard limit that I gave myself. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good still, all things considering. I did take off last week from vlogging because I'm feeling very hopeless. So I'm just trying not to think about the state of the world right now. I'm trying not to engage with people that just trigger my fury like that. You know, the uneducated masses who don't read above a 6th grade level, who don't know what a policy is, who thought Obamacare was different from ACA. I'm trying to avoid those people, and I'm just trying to find what joy I can in my life. And that is coffee, Dragon Age, and writing. Okay, so I have finished my coffee for the most part, and I have finished chapter 20. So I'm officially halfway through. It's 5 chapters for the dark moment, so I'm saying I'm halfway through because I just finished the 3rd in this beat. And it's actually kind of funny. This chapter ended up being 1,014 words, and the chapter before it was 1,015. That's just kind of funny. And they were both around 900 words in the 0 draft, so it's just interesting that they ended up being around the same word count while I was fleshing them out as well. But anyways, I don't want to fall into the trap of rambling for too long. It didn't really feel like any time at all, but it is 5:53, so it was almost an hour, I think. I don't know, I got distracted because I had to give Khaleesi her medicine. But I'm gonna stop writing for the night. I have accomplished a lot today. I only wrote probably around 3,000 words today, but I still accomplished a lot story-wise and chapter-wise, and I feel like it is basically all downhill from here. So yeah, I have 2 more chapters left in this beat, and then basically it's just the resolution and happily ever after, and then of course the epilogue. But the epilogue, it's not really like, it is in the story, but it's not, because it's going to be like a preview. Well, not so much a preview, but a hook for the next book starring Garrett's cousin, Tilda. So it's here, I'm counting it. You know, the story isn't finished until I write it, but it's not actually a part of Garrett and Nell's story. Like I said, tomorrow I'm off, and I am planning on having a nice productive morning writing-wise, because why not? And then I do work on Friday, but obviously I work from home, so I'll be able to write then too. Honestly, it would be really, really cool if I could finish this draft this week, and without my fiance here to distract me, I should be able to do that. But I kind of don't want to like do that to myself, because if I don't do it, I'll be really upset. So I'm going to say I would like to be past the resolution by the end of this week. So there's the resolution. And then after that I only have 2 chapters left, but I would like to be past the resolution. And with that being said, I am going to hop back on Dragon Age. Probably eat dinner eventually. Without my fiance here, it's like I kind of don't need to eat. I could just snack on cheese and crackers and be fine. But yeah, so I'm gonna play some Dragon Age, and then I think I will read a little bit before bed, because I have not picked up this book since the last time I mentioned it to you guys. So yeah, those are my plans for the rest of the night. So I will see you tomorrow. So it is 9:45. I have taken care of everything I wanted to take care of before I jumped into writing. I edited yesterday's footage. It was a lot of footage. I went out and fed all of our animals. We only have 2 like actual house cats that are our pets, but for some reason this town is like full of stray cats, and there's like multiple people that do like trap, neuter, and release, and then the cats just kind of rule this town, but a few of them like to come to our house and our porch to eat, and we also feed the birds and squirrels, and when raccoons and possums come around, them too. But I, you know, went out and put out food for everybody, and then I read. Doesn't look like I got very far, but I read like 5 chapters, and I like it, but the main character kind of bothers me because it's like she flip-flops between being kind of an emotional wreck, which makes sense for what happened to her, but then she flip-flops from that to being like feral and unhinged. I am all for feral girls, but it just doesn't really feel like the same character, because it's like one minute she's thinking about how helpless she is and how sad she is because she's going through a lot of shit, and then the other moment she's like having these like hateful, angry thoughts, but like not in the grieved sense, in the feral sense, and I like it. I just wish it felt more cohesive to her character, but I am enjoying it. I also took off my nail polish because it was starting to look really rough, except now I forgot how much I hate taking off black nail polish because it like baked into my cuticles and the cracks and stuff no matter how much nail polish remover I used. But yeah, so I've done all that. I ate my breakfast from Dunkin'. I got the toasted white chocolate signature latte. It's okay. COVID like ruined my taste buds when it comes to coffee, and it took like a year or 2 for me to actually be able to enjoy coffee again. But now I've noticed like a lot of coffee flavors just taste gross to me. Like there's very few, like caramel is my default because it's like caramel's the only one that doesn't taste disgusting. I wanted to try something new. And like I said, it's okay. I should have just got peppermint mocha because that's my actual, like, that's my jam. That is my favorite seasonal flavor ever. But I wanted to try something new and I'm boo-boo the fool for it. But yeah, I am finally ready to start writing. Like I said, it's almost 10 o'clock, but I don't have anything to do today, which is great. I actually didn't sleep all that well last night. I thought I would, because I'm not trying to say that my fiance is like too loud or anything, but I was totally alone. You know, it was just the cats and I. But I kept waking up, and I think it's probably just because I'm so used to him being next to me. And then I didn't sleep anywhere near as late as I thought I would. I was up at like 6:30. Well, I was up at 6 actually, because I was out the door by 6:30. All of this rambling does not matter to anybody. And I noticed when I was editing my footage that with this camera, you can really see how dry my damn lips are. So I should have put that on before I started recording, but hey, it is what it is. My goals for today are simple. I just want to write chapter 21 and chapter 22. Writing those chapters will take me out of the dark moment, and that will be good progress, because then that would leave me just 1 chapter tomorrow that, you know, I would have to work on to hit my goal for this week of being past the resolution. But like I said, it's 10. These chapters are much shorter than like a lot of the like setup and actual romantic chapters. So for all we know, I can finish all 3 of those chapters today before I dedicate the rest of my day to Dragon Age. But the cool thing about obviously being home by myself for the whole day is I have absolutely no plans. I don't have to run to the store. I don't have to like go pick up dinner, because I did think about it. I was like, oh, I can go get something that my fiance doesn't really like. Like there's an Arby's about 20-25 minutes away, but I just don't feel like going anywhere. It is so cold outside. I hate people, traffic, it sucks. So I'm probably just gonna heat up some frozen chicken nuggets or something for dinner. So I don't have anything else today that I want to do except write and play Dragon Age. Why is action so hard to write? It is 11:32 and it took me that long to write this chapter. I did stop briefly. My fiance is texting me and I was trying to help him with something. This chapter was kind of a struggle, but there's also some stuff that I like about it too, so I'm not feeling that terrible about it. I just wish I was as good at writing action as I was romance. My formative years writing romantic fanfiction and not action fanfiction, so maybe that's the problem. I wanted to write fluffy fics and PWPs, so there was never much room for action. Okay, so I just finished chapter 22. It wasn't as bad as I thought, and that means we are out of the dark moment beat officially. I should have done this before I started filming, but let me see how many words this beat ended up being, because it's definitely over, but maybe not by much. So the suggested word count for this beat for a 30,000 story, 30,000 word story was 3,000 words. This is almost 5,000 words. So again, continuing the trend of going over the suggested word count. I'm at 36,000 for the story in total, but I only have 3 chapters left, and I'm hoping they're not that long. I mean, one's an epilogue, how long can it be? So yeah, I finished my 2 chapters, and it is 12:10, so I'm kind of on time even with the struggle I had with the other chapter, the first one I wrote today. But I think I'm going to stop. I think I'm going to go downstairs and get something to eat and play some Dragon Age. Maybe around 3 or 4, I'll come back up and start the next chapter, the resolution chapter. I'm feeling really good. I will say I've been really deliberating on how I want to share this with people, and initially I was thinking of maybe posting it weekly or every other week on like Buy Me a Coffee and requiring people to subscribe, because obviously I would love to make money off of my writing. I'm working very hard on it, but that doesn't seem like the right way of sharing it. So then I thought about Wattpad. I have used Wattpad in the past, but it was a failure. I don't know if it was because the story itself wasn't that good, because it was years and years ago, and I'm kind of embarrassed by that story now, so I don't know if it was because my story was bad or because I just didn't know how to market on Wattpad. But I was thinking I would just post it weekly or every other week on Wattpad and like share it with you guys and share it with, you know, like my mom. She always reads my stuff, and I thought that could be something, you know, and then I don't have to worry that this is like an unpolished draft. Like it's obviously not a 0 draft and I'm editing it, but it's definitely not the kind of polished draft you would send to an agent. So I would feel better sharing it on a place like Wattpad, and I could even be, you know, a brokey and ask for, hey, if you liked this. But then in the future I can put together like, you know, an actual edited draft and make it an ebook and sell that later privately through my own website maybe. I don't know. Those are all my thoughts. I'm not ready to share it just yet, so if you have any opinions about Wattpad, or if you have an alternative to Wattpad, I am all ears, because I have not signed into Wattpad in a long time, so I don't know if they made any changes about like how you post stories on there, so I do have to research if that's something I'm going to do. But I'm rambling for too long. This video is going to be so long. I'm gonna go downstairs and eat and play Dragon Age. Okay, so it's 7:23 and I spent entirely too long playing Dragon Age. I did talk to my fiance on the phone for like 45 minutes, but I was just Dragon Aging it up. And I also spent like an hour re-customizing my character, because thankfully the game gives you that option basically right away. And I just was trying to make a dwarf that looked like a dwarf, but she was still pretty in her own dwarfy way. And it was just so like, it was hard because it was like you could either do like conventionally attractive or you know, she looks like a troll, but I think after an hour in the character customization, I was able to nail down a dwarf that looks okay and looks like a realistic Dragon Age dwarf. But yeah, so I made some hot chocolate because it's just so cold in this house, but with it being almost 7:30, obviously coffee was not an option. I have to wake up at 5 tomorrow. So I don't see myself staying up super late, but I do want to try and write chapter 23 before I go to bed. In the zero draft, it's like 1,500 words, and it is kind of an action-heavy scene, so I'm kind of nervous. So I finished chapter 23, which is the last Nell point of view chapter. I don't want to say it's weird, but I just realized it at the end. Like the minute I wrote the last line, I was like, oh, this is the last line we get from Nell. I think it's an okay line about how free she feels. So, you know, that works. So chapter 24, the last chapter before the Tilda-centric epilogue, the last chapter is from Garrett's point of view. This chapter ended up being almost 1,800 words, which was like over 300 words more than the zero draft. Let me see. Oh my god, I'm at 38,000 in total. Oh my god. So when I look at my zero draft, chapter 23, it's pretty long. Chapter 23 is like 1,700 words. The epilogue is kind of long too. With the epilogue, it looks like I have in the zero draft just under 3,000 words maybe, and I'm already at 38,000. I think I'm going over my hard limit of 40,000, which is really disappointing, and I don't understand. Like, I know when I read short romance, like, it's really obvious when a writer is like sacrificing character development or even like dialogue for word count, because there are people that keep their stories like, you know, 10,000 words and under, and I feel like you can tell. Like, I do hate reading short romances where it's like, it's just boring because there's no detail. But it's like, I can't do it because I just want to add so much detail. I get so caught up in my characters because I love them. But yeah, it's looking like this will probably be closer to like 42,000, which still isn't long enough to be considered a novel. I guess it's a novella, a long novella. But yeah, it's crazy to think how close I am to the end, considering that this is all I have left, these 2 chapters. It would be really weird if I didn't finish tomorrow. But it's 8:46. I have the Eagles game on because it's on Prime tonight. It's really weird watching football without my fiance, but he's watching it at his hotel room, which sucks because he has to watch it on his phone because apparently the hotel room TV it doesn't have any way of connecting to any apps or anything. So yeah, it sucks for him. And I'm not going to be watching the whole game, so that sucks for him too. But yeah, I think I'm going to start to unwind for the night and hit the hay. And tomorrow I am teleworking, but it'll just be like a normal work from home day where I work on the side and I keep up with my emails and stuff, but I'm still able to write. And I'm just gonna try and finish this story tomorrow, which is wild. I didn't realize that this week would be the week I finish it, but I'm excited because I genuinely like this story, and that makes me feel silly because I genuinely liked my Pine Hollow story too. But I don't know. I think this one is simpler. I think this one just works better, and I kind of can't wait for people to read it. But I felt that way about Pine Hollow too. I don't know, but I'm gonna unwind and go to bed soon. So yeah, I will see you in the morning, which for you will only be like 2 seconds.
Who's the sweetest girl? Who's the sweetest girl?
So I woke up and all I can think about is Dragon Age. I don't know why, because I've already beat it, but yeah, I woke up just wanting to play Dragon Age. I did some reading, hoping to put me in the mood for writing. For some reason, I decided I was then going to watch like the worst ending you can get in the Veilguard on YouTube, because I'm not the kind of player that's like, oh, let me see all the endings. I want to get all the endings. For me, I have to get the good ending every single time. I don't care that there's things I've never seen before in the bad endings, because I'll just watch them on YouTube. I need the best possible endings for my characters. So I watched a video that had like all of the worst decisions you can make, and it just solidified my need for the good ending every time. But yeah, so I read a little bit, a couple chapters, I think like 3 chapters. I think we're finally at a point where the main female character is like not going to annoy me anymore. And it's really funny because in the first like 10 chapters of the book, I hated the main male character. But like I said, we've reached a point where these characters are now coming into their own, and I like him a lot more now. I am here to start chapter 24, and I'm feeling good. I feel like when I get to the end of a story, I don't necessarily feel excited. I feel nervous because it's like, I spent all this time, I worked so hard, what if it's terrible? And then also I get nervous because it's like, what am I going to do next? Like next week, what am I going to work on? So it's just overthinking. That's what I'm really good at. I might run down and make myself a second coffee. This one got a little cold while I was reading, and then I'm going to jump into writing. This is my last day alone. My fiance comes home tonight. Well, it'll probably be closer to like 2 in the morning tomorrow. So I have like one final day on my own, and I'll probably go to bed at a normal time, but set an alarm to wake up around midnight or 1 so I can just wait up for him, because we're just that sappy with each other. But yeah, so I only have these 2 chapters to write. I am working. It's been a slow morning so far, thankfully. And I will celebrate finishing these 2 chapters with Dragon Age. It will feel like a much-deserved reward after I woke up like just obsessively thinking about it. So yeah, I'm going to jump into chapter 24, and we're finishing this story today. Well, the story's finished. We're finishing this draft today. So I finished chapter 24. It is 2,032 words, so I have officially crossed over into 40,000 words. I knew it was going to happen, but I'm still disappointed in myself. But the epilogue should only be like 1,500 to 1,700 words, I think. I hope. So we're not going too far. Hopefully. Not like when I started writing the first draft of Pine Hollow and I said this is going to be a short romance, and then it was like 68,000 words. I'm really happy with this chapter. I think it is a good ending to Nell and Garrett's love story. I think it's a good ending for Garrett especially. I love what I've written, and it's really sappy and sweet. I hope it gives people who read it in the future cavities with how sweet it is, but I feel really good about it. And some of my nervousness about ending this project is still there, but I'm feeling the excitement again knowing that I only have the epilogue to write. And I'm excited about what the epilogue sets up, though it's a character dynamic I'm not used to writing. So I'm not as excited going into what might be the second book in this series. I don't want to call it a series because I'm not planning a big overlapping series, but what the next book is, I'm worried because I don't typically write that kind of dynamic between characters. I'm just going to try and have fun with it like I did with this. I even have tried to pepper in ideas for potentially a third in this series because it's fun and I've needed to add side characters, and what else should I do with side characters but maybe build them up and give them their own story. So we'll see. All that to say, it is 10:30. I am hungry, so I'm going to go downstairs and get something to eat, and then I'm going to come back up here. Then I'm going to write the epilogue. So I finished this draft. Yeah, the epilogue was a little longer than I thought it would be, but again, the trend of me liking my writing continues, because I liked it. I will need to go back and kind of work on Tilda's dialogue, because writing this epilogue from her point of view, it's like I was in her head a little more, and so I want to make sure her voice sounds right. If I had to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10 of how satisfied I am with this story, it's pretty high up there. It's at least an 8. So I feel really good. I mentioned being nervous, but I think finishing this epilogue kind of took away that nervousness, because now I don't feel it anymore. I think I just got ahead of myself, because that's what I do. So yeah, I don't know what is immediately next for writing, like what I'm going to work on next week. Like maybe, you know, I want to start editing this to at least ensure that it is readable so that I can share it with people. Not looking for beta readers or anything, because I'm not aiming to publish this right away. Just share it and get generalized thoughts on it possibly. So I don't know if that's what I want to jump into next week, or if I want to start working on the next book with Tilda. I will have to do a lot of story work, because while I know the general vibe of that story and like what I want the general arc, I guess, to be, I haven't actually worked on any details in terms of like the plot and things that will happen. I think I do have a title already for my sequel. I have a list of titles that might work, but I'm not sure. I do like my general idea, but I do have to do a lot of story work. I'll just do what I did for this one with Michelle Schusterman's like fast outlining method, with the like 1-sentence summary, the query formula, the 5-sentence, you know, all of that fun stuff that I'm always talking about these days. But yeah, I'm feeling really good about what is my total word count. Okay. I stayed under 42,000. That's good, right? So my total word count is 41,720 words. So there's that. Not as short as I thought it would be, but that's something I can work on. Maybe when I'm editing it, I will see that there are scenes where it's like, all right, April, you got too wordy here, and I can cut it down. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good story, and I'm not worried about the word count. At least that's what I'm telling myself, that I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it! I'm not worried about any of this!
So yeah, it is 11:35. I have finished this draft all before lunchtime, and I'm still having a nice slow day work-wise, and it's a good day. It's been a good week for me. I can't complain, really. At least about things in my personal life. I gave you a little taste in an earlier clip, but there are a lot of things I could complain about in terms of the current state of things in America. But in terms of my personal life, there's not a lot I can complain about right now. Today will probably just be me playing Dragon Age all day, since I have nothing else to do for the rest of the day. I also will try to get this video edited as soon as I can. I know it's going to be a long one, so I apologize in advance. Like I mentioned, I'm thinking about so many different things in terms of like how to share this story and get people like an easy way to read it. So like I mentioned, Wattpad. I think you can post stuff on Ream without people paying for like a monthly subscription. I think you would just have to follow me on Ream to see what I post. So that's an option. There was something else, I think it was called like Royal Road. I have not looked into that a lot. I did find some videos about it and add them to my watch later, which is like a million videos long. But yeah, so if you guys know of any other like internet-based platforms to share a story chapter by chapter and have people easily read it, please let me know. I really just want people to enjoy this story. I want to see if people enjoy my characters as much as I do, I guess. So yeah, let me know down below. Let me know if you are playing Dragon Age the Veilguard. I realized in my older vlog I made it seem like it was a perfect game. It's not, but I'd still probably give it like a 7 out of 10. The 3 points I docked off are for like personal reasons. I mentioned, you know, you have 10 years to build a game up in your head, and with a game like Dragon Age, so many people have so many different like headcanons because of like the choices that they made in their playthrough. So the new game was never going to please everyone. It was never going to be perfect. There are a lot of issues that I personally have with it, but I also personally would give it a 7 out of 10 because of how much fun I'm having playing it. And for the characters that I like Solus. I'm a big Solus fan. I think he was shafted. I think it was a mistake. moving from having the game be focused on him and giving it a new title and stuff. But as a Soulless fan, I'm happy with what they did with him. So let me know down below what you think. Don't leave too many spoilers. Some people are still trying to get through the game. But, you know, you could always message me on Instagram because I would love to fangirl about the things I liked. I would love to talk to you about the things that made me cry my eyes out on the frickin' couch. But yeah, so I will end this vlog here. It is so long, I'm so sorry. And I'm really happy to have shared this with you. And I'm catching up on all of my watch later, I promise. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.